Hello there, it's Star Thrivage 07, coming to you today from my office here out and about on the route. Just recording this intro for a Micro Galaxy Squadron pickup. It's been a minute since I've been visiting the Star Wars Micro Galaxy series, and they got some new stuff on the shelves at Walmart. So you can probably find this out here today. Make sure to like, share, subscribe, all the stuff down below. Thanks again for watching. Let's turn this camera around and take a closer look at the Razor Crest from Mandalorian and Grogu. Here just in time to take one final ride with the Mandalorian and the Grogu with the movie coming out. Jazwares got it right where Hasbro has not, and they've got the actual product out there on the shelves. Boom. There you got like the little options you can do there. You got this stuff here. We're going to take a closer look at all that. I'm a little out of practice with this stuff. It's a little bit smaller, and this actually feels smaller. I've got the other Razor Crest, haven't done the reviews on those, but let's crack this one open and see how cool it is. Here is the exploded view of the Razor Crest. We'll look at the details on the panels here. This little guy right here will be the inside of this under part, like right here under the wing. We'll get a better camera angle on that in a minute, but when it's hanging up inside, you can see the bag hanging there and some other sort of compartments that you can't see whenever this is on the outside. And in the past, I want to say that they did a better detail work here, but this is basically based off the N1 design. It's got the gold from the N1 and just some more silver outside exterior ship. Same thing right here. This is the detail if you're looking down from the top of it right here. And so then here's the back end, and this is what I was talking about. They usually did this kind of paint throughout, and they add some scoring and some other stuff, but very lackluster right here in my experience with Micro Galaxy series. They did add a little bit of extra oomph and a little bit of spots here and there, but I mean, this is so not like them to do this like this. And Mandalorian and Grogu, they look awesome for the minifig, and something about all the figures here. Like, I saw some other figures after I saw this on the shelf because I looked up, and they had the Black Series and the other little stuff for the Mandalorian and Grogu movie, and it does got quite a good bit of detail. I mean, it looks like Grogu hanging on his shoulder, and that's the running thing, is like he's always hanging on the shoulder with the other figures too. I want to say the other, I can't remember, it's been a while, but I need to get that back out and look at the other N1 starship, Mando's N1, and see how that compares to this. We'll do that a little bit later. The thing that worries me about this is that the Phoenix armor and Grogu simply peg into the back there, so I may end up gluing that to the backpack, but he's still very, very nicely detailed. There's some paint used there, and that's kind of impressive the way they did that. And all it does is stick down inside of the ship, and we'll get to that here in just a moment. And he probably will fall over before, yeah, he's going to fall over again. I can't get him to stand. That's okay if he falls, but there he is outside of the ship. You got the, I guess, the pilot's door, because this is not going to open the thing. This is just to get the figure in there and lower the canopy down for them to be together there. There's some paint there on the forward guns. You have the landing claws, there's the front landing claw and one on each side, and they do that zigzag, which is really, really neat. We'll get to that here in just a moment. And actually, since he's going to fall over, I'm just going to like lay them there, and we're going to pick the ship up and bring it closer. It'll just be easier to do it this way instead of getting down there with it. You got a lot of nice molded detail on the inside of the ship there, and unpainted. I think it would, if a Gundam person can, you know, go through there and have a field day with this. You do got like a place for storing hostages there. I guess that's what that's, or prisoners there. So that's, I guess, his prisoner hold there, then or bounty hold there. Looking in from the back of the ship, you can swing this back and around, and you can have, this is the other piece that came inside the actual figure. This little piece right here, and the fact that you can swing it and do it however you want to do, that's a nice little added feature there. I'm not sure what that little hook is for right here in the back, but there's
what you get when you're looking the top down, looking back toward the forward compartment, and there's no movable door because these things are so tiny. You got some nice molded detail in the thrusters there. And we'll close all this up and get that together here in just a moment. But there's those retractable landing claws. I like how they do this right here on the bottom. And this part, this also is down in either the show or the movie I hadn't saw yet. Can't speak for it, but anyway, it's nice that they got all this in here like this. So I want to keep this shut like a door right there, or flap there, and this will retract back up into the back of it. Folds up nicely there. This will go up and fold up like this. And we'll go over here and take another look at the other side. Nothing going on here. There's more of that painted detail, that with a little bit of paint they do use. It does look good. And it's not like them to not like paint things up and give it the carbon scoring. Some people complain about it, but I think that gives it character. May go back and do the panel lines just to give it some pop, but hadn't saw it. This movie's due in the theaters, I think, in Labor Day weekend. So there's that. This will pop back on right here, guys. Just like so. This was easier to get at because of this. I did cut myself trying to get the top off. And this will, it's got 2 tabs there at the back end. And I'm not sure if it just was supposed to slide back, but I'm always weary in handling these and whatnot. So there's that. I just did that on camera. Cool. So there's the way it looks at the aft end of the ship there, getting all geared up, ready for takeoff. And all you do with Mando and Grogu is you slide them down in here. I'll do this off camera real quick. And here again, this is not a really positive thing here because it looks like he's flying the ship. He's just actually standing there. He's not being held in there. So then you close the canopy up, and you can see them clear as day inside of there, which I guess is what the look they were going for with this set. The cockpit has a lot of sparse details for a cockpit in this series. So I mean, this is how they wanted to do it for this, and I get it. It's a little bit teeny weeny and stuff. Forward guns look really good, and bam, that is kind of striking there. And then whenever you got them landing, that's what it looks like. We'll just do a quick spin now. We got everything back together, and then we'll do some other profiles and stuff. So there's the top down, what you get, side profile. These are like models and stuff, but like, I love Star Wars ships, and I end up switching these around the house, like, or the yard or whatever. This will probably end up going with me everywhere. Probably will go to the movie with me because I just love the Razor Crest. My heart was broken in Book of Boba Fett whenever, I think it's Book of Boba Fett. Got to go back and watch some stuff where it got blowed up. And then he required new means, and he went back to the lady with the pit droids and got them to build that N1 up for him. And I hope the N1's still going to be around, but anyway, forward view, what you get to see there, and that aft. Those thrusters look great, painted detail. That's about going to do it for there. Let's get into some final thoughts. Some final thoughts here. To be, quite transparent, I've not opened the other Razor Crest, and I can't speak against what came before it, but like, this still feels like less because there was an Arvala 7 set where like the Jazwares stripped everything down and stuff, and I want to say you could do that with that one. I'm gonna have to go back and dig that one out now and get it and see the size comparisons and that kind of thing. But this is still a very impressive ship, Starship class ship. I love Star Wars ships, and it's the whole draw to this line is the bonus. It just comes with these nicely painted little detailed. There's 2 points articulation on the legs and the arms. They're very static or whatnot, but for all intents and purposes, this works for what they were going for. And it's usually going to be on your shelf like this. I don't know of a lot of people that sets all their little minifigs out there on the shelf. Just one good breeze and it blows away. So I mean, mine stay in the ships because I don't want to lose the stuff and things. I still recommend this for fans, but I can't highly recommend because of the lackluster detail there in this release. I just feel like for the movie it deserved more pomp and circumstance, and it looks like it has more paint in these pre-renders here of that. And whenever you do like take the ship out of the box, I mean, it's got some nice stuff, but I mean, it's just a blank box. I'm getting ready to go do the cardboard cutout here in a minute and then recycle the rest. I'll hang on to the holograms, and I'll probably get a little thing in like a Pokemon Rolodex that I can keep it in. But this was number 235 in the release of things in the grand scheme of things, and I can't believe there's been that. And yeah, be careful, because the top of this has little spots that you can nick your finger and that kind of thing. So there's your buyer beware, I guess, you know, play feature safety. But it's still very swooshable, and whenever you take it off, these just fold up, and that looks really, really clean on the bottom there. I want to say, hey, he didn't flop around. I thought he was going to flop around. And he'll knock his noggin when you turn him upside down for some barrel rolls and stuff. But for the most part, this is very swooshable and very, very awesome. Thanks again for watching, guys. We're going to get this guy back in landing position and get out of here. It's been a minute since I've done any of these. There's not been a whole lot in the way of releases that, I mean, it's like they do with the waves here of late. I want to say 8, 9, and 10. They've got the Armada edition where they repaint the other older ships, or not really do a lot with. Well, am I not doing this right? I'm having trouble here. Give me a second. They got the Armada editions that have a few more paint details and that kind of thing. And I've got most of those from the earlier waves, so I don't like get those. So it's like they're shooting themselves in the foot releasing those, but they're trying to get those for the other folks that didn't start it from the launch edition stuff. And the whole thing with the chases and rares is really, really annoying. I'm so glad we don't have chases and rares of the bigger ships in the Star Wars Micro Galaxy collection. And I'll never be able to get all the other holes filled in this because I refuse to pay the prices for the chases and rares. Got lucky and have a couple people in town, fellow collectors, that have caught me caught back up, so I didn't have to go pay exorbitant prices for a little itty bitty. Well, those won't go for much, but I mean, the community is where I think this really does shine, and you can help each other out, that kind of thing. So fill in the holes and fill in the blanks. Thanks again for watching. Make sure to like, share, subscribe, all the stuff down below. Thanks again. Y'all have a great day out there. Go catch this movie when it comes out. I'm going to certainly do it. It's another Star Wars movie, and it's probably the last thing we'll have with Mandalorian and Grogu. Stay safe. May the Force be with you guys all, always.